I feel like, and you teach cinematography too, and I feel like a lot of times when beginning documentary cinematographers pick up a camera, they feel that chaos and they feel this pressure to like do something with their camera and to kind of impose their will on what they're shooting. And so I think that's a great message, is to just like, it's okay. Like just let it happen and be an observer.
Right, exactly.
And think of the frame as like blacking out almost.
Yeah.
The distractions, and just let it be your focus, right?
Exactly. Yeah, if you can let that happen. And then meanwhile, to also be listening, because if you're working with people, for example, you know, you do also have to recognize that they're humans and they're around you, and maybe they need you, you know, and that to go into that camera space and to leave them out is, you know, you have to allow yourself to come and go, is what I mean. And to be able to be so comfortable with that camera that you could let it go, you know, that it's just like your friend sitting next to you. And you could then pay attention to the person who's sitting right in front of you, and then also still be shooting without having to constantly be checking your focus or your exposure, or did I do this right, or oh no, the camera's, you know, glitching, what's, you know, everything. You have to just know that thing.
Because they're picking up on your energy too, right? So if they pick up that you're uncomfortable, then that makes them uncomfortable, and then it's harder. Yeah. But how do you know, what does it take to get to that kind of level though?
Of sort of comfort?
Yeah.
I think it's about working with a lot of different cameras, you know, but it's also about preparing, you know, to have several days in advance if you can. You know, sometimes rentals come the day before and it doesn't happen, but if you have time ahead of time, you know, like if you can go for a couple days and just really get to know something that you're working with, then and know the little things that always will catch you, right? It's like, I don't know, whatever thing that might be. Maybe you need to figure out what your menu system is, or you need to understand, oh, what's my gamma supposed to be set to? You know, like you don't want to forget any of these things and get onto the shoot and actually, oh God, I've got to, you know, oh, I've got to charge my batteries or something silly, you know, like you just want to think of everything, you know, checklist. And then you're not struggling in the moment, missing something that's actually happening.
Is there some sort of similarity between being a camera person and being a scientist?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, when I teach my classes, you know, I like to dissect the camera. You know, that's how I talk about it. You know, I think that you can dissect a lens. You can, you know, there are a lot of things that I think are really highly technical about cinematography that is really similar to science. You know, and they were created by science. You know, cameras are created by engineers, right? So it's like, wow, this thing. You know, even the camera that we're going to work with later. You know, one of the menu systems will often, you can change it from scientific to cinematography. That was really kind of them to throw that on there. And scientific is like in microseconds, and I'm like, what exposure is in what microseconds? And it's just really, and it's really hard to find that little setup icon, you know, and you have to go click around and you finally find it, and then you can actually change it back to cinematography. And it's like, and even for me, I feel like I don't want to think about that stuff. I want to just be thinking about cinematography, not science in that moment. But it's really kind of cute in a way that it's like, yeah, it's created by these engineers, and they sort of have to sugarcoat everything for us, you know, to pretend as though, no, it wasn't really created by scientists.
I mean, in a way, it's similar to music in that you practice a musical instrument so much that
like
you transcend the instrument at a certain point, but it takes a while.
Yes, that's such a good analogy. It's just like an instrument. Yeah, I often feel that way. Actually, working with musicians now, I do a lot of that because they come into our space, and you know, especially with shooting all the performance films, you know, they're always, you know, they're so dedicated to their craft, and it's great because sometimes I really get along with them because, you know, they're also just as picky and finicky as I am. So I feel like, yes, we can. They know. It's like, I'm like, where's your chair gonna be? And they're like, I'm like, are you gonna move it? And they're like, no, I won't move. You know, so you know, they understand that I want it to be perfect, and they want things to be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, but music is a lot like an instrument. Musician, having an instrument is just like a camera.
Yeah. And it's funny because, I mean, musicians practice a couple hours a day. You know what I mean? And so thinking you can just pick up a camera and just be like, I'll figure it out as I go.
Yeah, no.
You're making it really hard on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're just destined to not make good music, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I like
Yeah.
that.